these other days. I had not heard these things since I did the interviews back. This is back from 1990. And so the first one we're going to hear dates from June 23rd, 1990. And in town promoting their record were Kim Gordon and Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth. And we're going to hear that interview as it happened. And it's an interesting one. So we will let that roll right now. And we'll do a real live ID in the middle of it somewhere. But right now, as heard on the station, WREK, on Saturday, June 23rd, 1990, here are Kim Gordon and Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth. CD down so that doesn't make any more noise, and we've got Kim and Thurston from Sonic Youth here in town. They're not playing anywhere, they're just here.
When are they playing here?
Who knows?
October, probably. We're doing in the beginning of August. We're doing 10-day tour on the West Coast and the East Coast.
Where should we play here? I really like that club we played last time, Metroplex. That place was hot, man. It's really
closed.
Nice. I really like that place.
Well, it's closed.
Yeah, I just thought it was really comfortable. I have a lot of relatives here who come to see us play, and I always enjoyed having them.
Go to Metroplex?
Come to Metroplex and sort of see like what I do for a living. You know.
Do you get paid for that?
For what? For playing? Yeah, you get paid. No,
Extra
I'm just.
We've never gotten paid, have we?
No.
Hey, what do you want to get paid for? You know, you have the sun in the morning and the moon at night, and I don't really, I don't understand.
Occasionally both.
Occasionally both.
Anyway, they're here. They've got a new record, CD, cassette.
What's it called?
Oh, Goo.
It's called Goo. It's named after this girl who plays drums in this film called Sir Drone, which is a film that Raymond Pettibone made. He's doing films now. The artist Raymond Pettibone, who you may know as the illustrator, who did Black Flag album covers, Minutemen, Bomb Squad.
The list is endless.
He was the first bass player in Black Flag.
Yes. Do you know that? But Raymond Pettibone was like the guy who started Black Flag.
I had heard that.
Well, he was like him and Greg started it. I mean, Greg was pretty much had SST Electronics. Which was like his little, he had like a electronics kind of repair service in his garage. That was SST Electronics.
And it's built into the multi-million-dollar industry it is today.
Yes, the multi-million-dollar debtors industry. But and Raymond, he quit immediately, of course. I mean, the band was called Panic, and because, all it was people bickering in rehearsal, as is, how punk bands rehearse anyway. They just sort of bicker.
Probably most any band.
Yeah, just about any band.
Not necessarily.
So he wrote this really satiric screenplay called Sir Drone. Yeah. It's about two punks who moved to Hollywood in 1977 to get involved with the punk rock scene, and one's name is Jinx, and one's name is Dwayne, and then Dwayne's cousin Scooter, who he's surprised to see hanging out at the Mask at the Dills show. And then they meet this girl named Goo, and that's her real name.
It's a sort of a themology here on the record with several songs.
It has a lot to do with Raymond Pettibone, it's true. I mean, it's a concept album about women. Most of Raymond Pettibone's, a lot of his art has to do with women.
Karen Carpenter was not in the punk scene in LA though, so.
Yeah, but Karen Carpenter's power is very.
If she was a punk, she would have lived.
Yeah, if Karen was a punk, she would have lived.
She rebelled against her parents.
I mean, she was so victimized.
She wasted away.
She was parentally victimized.
In her closet.
She predicted the future of Reaganism, I think. Be perfect. Some journalists saw her, a picture of her and said, Karen has a beautiful voice, but she's kind of chubby. They said she's hippie, which he's trying to say she has kind of big hips. And Karen became a bulimia. She became a bulimia victim, and she died from that. Trying to reach this social perfection, she killed herself. And the Carpenters sort of came out of this whole idea of there's such a huge fallout in the late 60s after Hendrix died in Vietnam, and you had music business wanting to take control of the youth culture. And the Carpenters sort of fit really nicely in with that.
Yeah, well, they had also a lot of
Which part? Did the Carpenters, would they control or the youth culture?
No, they fit nicely in as an alternative to Hendrix.
So they were sort of like the indie band of today.
Yes, but Karen was a victim of this kind of youth culture control. And when you listen to her sing, you hear like an angel's voice. You hear like a very beautiful voice, and she was so tortured by everything around her. Herb Alpert. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Moss.
And Herb destroyed.
You know what I'm saying? And
David Gates was there.
Who?
David Gates.
David Gates.
Baby, I'ma Want You.
Baby, I'ma Want You.
They produced Beefheart too, right?
Yeah.
Look what he did to Beefheart. He totally burned him. They destroyed Beefheart. They destroyed him. He might as well have been like an old blues guy from the 20s. He was ripped off so bad. They destroyed Beefheart. They destroyed the entire idea of like a spontaneous youth culture. Never again were they going to let that happen. Why do you think hardcore was underground? That was an expansive scene, man, but it was kept underground. Hippiedom just blew up out of proportions just because of Time magazine. They kept Time magazine under control. I sound like this is like I'm putting on this whole total paranoid.
We have a
Beach Boys too.
I really don't believe it.
Thurston is stating his master's thesis here, sociology.
The best there is the Glenn Branca conspiracy.
The hardcore conspiracy. That's what I was just espousing that actually. I never really, thought about that conspiracy until I read that interview with him. But, it's basically true. And Karen, is important to us because here is somebody who is victimized by a certain social more and, a voice of it. You just sort of like when you hear her sing, you just sort of want to reach out and kind of help her, put your arms around her. And, she's bringing out the humanity in other people. And that is what all artists strive to do. She's too hippie.
Magically hit.
But for someone like that to actually bring out the humanitarianism in somebody else, such as yourself, you have to be sort of respectful of that, and you have to want to honor that, and that's why Karen is pretty important to us.
Let's play the song then.
Yeah.
Let's play that one then. Let's go.
Let's play that song.
Let's play it.
You're listening to WREK Atlanta, and you're listening to an interview with Kim Gordon and Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth back from 1990. So we're going to hear that more right now.
They need any more. We're here in the WREK studios, which is good because if we were somewhere else, it would be a problem. And
so, what do you think? That song's about Karen. Do you think it sort of fits the whole conspiracy theory that we're running on? Yeah.
I feel like grabbing her.
So like grabbier?
No, I feel like grabbing her.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing. She brings that out in people, especially DJs all across the land.
I think if you guys keep pushing this, it looks like the future of college radio could be the Carpenters.
You think so?
They're really big in England right now.
Yeah.
The record's been top.
Is that the next tribute album?
The last 5 years.
People ask me for the rarities, seriously.
For Carpenter's Rarities? Is this band
Are they
Cake
really?
playing?
Yes.
Are they happening?
What's that? That's Tracy's band, isn't it?
Cake?
These are
I
all-
thought Dirt was going to play.
Dirt have had some personnel problems.
Really? Because I heard Dirt is really, really good.
Dirt's happening.
Yeah. How about, do you know this band, Deer Transfixed by Headlights?
I've heard of this.
Yeah. How about
Yeah.
Tinnitus? Have you heard
Which
Tinnitus?
they pronounce here as tinnitus.
Oh, yeah. Well, up north we call them Tinnitus.
Yep, they.
Well, down here, they don't have Bryant. Up there, they'll have Bryant hot dogs, whatever.
I think most of those bands, the bands that are listed there, and
We don't have Mr. Pibb up north.
they'll be. That's probably a blessing. Those
That's
bands are going to be
benefit for
on,
Low Life
yeah,
zine.
and they're going to be on an album that comes out with. It's just going to be the next Low Life
Great.
magazine cassette.
Further the myth
CD.
that there's like this huge industrial underground going on in the South. Because I believe it, you know. I've been reading Low Life Scene for like years now, and I was under the impression that there's this incredibly huge, like, you know, very perverse industrial underground going on in Atlanta. And then I read this interview today in Creative Loafing, and they said, it's not the case.
I'm just doing that.
Is this not Professor Griff's signature?
That's really Professor Griff. He was down here whenever that was, a month ago, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago.
The Grifter. He
They
was
came
here.
down. They were doing. He was doing also a, not unlike yourselves. He was going to record stores.
Is that-
Not for the same reason you go to record stores.
Is that McGriff or McGruff, the crime dog?
Takes a bite out of crime.
Takes a
I just
bite.
go to record stores. I'm just looking for like one record that I can't seem to find. I've been going up and down the East Coast looking for it, and it just came out like last week. Maybe it's because nobody has it
About
yet.
6 months from now.
Yeah.
Well, what?
What are the other? How about Murray Reams?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about them.
I See the Moon.
I See the Moon is Glenn and
Ice Cream
Ellen,
Headache is actually a really good name for a band.
and
I
that's
think.
Debbie
Debbie.
Puff. He's
Oh
in
yeah, I saw
Freedom
Debbie.
Puff, who
Yeah, I
was
saw
in
Debbie Puff play
Lisa's
with Lisa
wonderful.
in New York.
Lisa?
Which
Le-
suck dog. Which she started off
My
here in
friend
a,
Lisa.
in
I
a,
just didn't want this to be on a first name kind of insider's kind of basis, you know, me and Steve and Joe and Lisa. Which Lisa is?
Oh, I saw Puff play. I saw
Lisa,
Miss
Lisa,
Puff play with Miss
Wendy and
Suckdog.
Lisa, but it's not those. Is it?
She was really good though. I thought. I mean,
well,
Debbie.
she got her start here at the Destroy All Music Festival when the people that Lisa brought with her to town decided they didn't want to perform here. The guy said he didn't want to play in front of insects.
Well, yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, I've said that myself a few times.
I think they just didn't want to follow us.
Oh, he was calling you insects. I thought he was calling
we
the
weren't
audience
insects. No, the audience were insects. I didn't see any bugs in the audience, but apparently there were. But they just didn't want to follow our band.
Hey, you want to play a cut off the new single that I put out?
Yeah, we could do that.
Tell us about this label and
Tell
single.
us about
and
the label.
The label's
single.
called Ecstatic Peace. It's a label I've always had, and I used to put out different things on it. Like I put out the Sonic Death cassette, which SST bought up and put out themselves. It plays at 33.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what
Man.
you might do with our adapter here.
Oh, we don't have to play it. We don't have to.
we can play it
It's
without
kind
an
of
adapter.
it's kind of
Okay.
Two off center would be great.
nepotistic.
Talk, Todd. Say something.
He's telling us all about the label. And
Yeah, the label exists as it was like sort of an outlet for us because nobody really put our records out at one point, so we had to do it ourselves. And until we started getting like kind of popular, I stopped doing it. But I put out Rudolph Gray's Transfixed album. That came out on New Alliance Records, but it was actually an Ecstatic Peace record. What I do is I just sort of like secure the recordings and like deliver them to other labels to put out, and then put our label name on them next to their label name.
The stork or something.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of like a punk stork thing. That's right. But now this is the first single proper with the Ecstatic Peace logo on it. And what it is by this group Red Transistor, who existed in 1977, and they were one of the original no-wave insane groups featuring Rudolph Gray on guitar and a young Von Elmo on something or other.
Is this
And
the first radio promo tour you've done?
yes, for Red Transistor. Yes, and they were like, they came out of like Suicide and groups like that. Ow. And maybe we should just play it.
Okay.
That's Red Transistor on Ecstatic Peace Records, available at Wax Tracks.
Wax and Facts.
Wax Tracks and
you
Wax
could
and
probably
Facts.
buy it, but you'll have to go to Illinois to get it. In case anybody cared,
on their version.
And I think the Turtles next to Majestic Diner, they're supposed to be getting some in. You know, I went there today, tried to sell them some. They said, yeah, we'd like to buy some of your alternative product. And I said, cool. How much for that mug, that Turtles mug? I said, 29 cents with a purchase of $35 or more CDs. So that was cool.
well, we're glad to see that all the label representatives care about their product.
As much as I do. I mean, going out on a promo tour for this stuff is pretty hot.
And the best thing is you get somebody else to pay for it.
The next Ecstatic Peace release is a triple single by the Velvet Monkeys.
Who have been by here?
Have they?
Yeah.
In the studio?
Since Adele Georgia's were done, right?
When he was in Current 93.
Current 93.
Is this fried chicken you just brought in here?
That's right.
Is it good stuff?
I don't know. It's the varsity.
Varsity.
Oh, you went to the varsity?
No, Angela did.
All right. Thank you. Somebody just brought us some fries from the varsity. So I hope it doesn't.
Commercial programming here.
Please. All I have to say is if you've got,
What's the best store? I mean, Wax and Facts is a hot store, right?
if you've got fries from the
That's the
varsity, please don't touch any records. You'll
Oh
understand.
God! This is amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, what else can we say here, Todd? Who's your favorite new kid? Do you have a favorite new kid on the block?
No, I don't.
We couldn't remember it.
I don't know their name.
We didn't remember any of their names either, but we thought maybe somebody would. I thought they all were.
Yeah.
It's not because
I'll
none of them
the
play.
biggest one.
Okay.
What's the Beach Boys
Glenn Thrasher's my favorite new kid.
song? you guys
Okay,
did?
that's good.
Is that coming out soon?
The Beach Boys tune we did. It's out, man. Where have you been?
Where?
You saw it. I showed it to you.
Oh yeah, it is out.
Dig it out.
Well,
We don't have it
where
here.
Can you
They
buy
haven't
it
sent it
then?
here.
Name 6 stores on the East Coast.
Wax and Facts and Pure Platters in Hoboken, New Jersey. The Turtles next to Majestic Diner should have a few copies left.
You can video too.
Yeah, you can get those and get your mug after you buy 6 copies of it.
Those mugs are
Or
happening.
get mugged.
But anyway, what do you want to know about? I mean,
You know,
we're
product. As long as we're talking about product here,
yeah.
in units.
We're gonna be in this movie.
How many people listen to the
Ball
station?
here With Christian Slater.
Our music's gonna be in it. We're not gonna personally be like on the screen with
Well,
him.
it's very close to Christian.
Oh.
We're almost in the movie with Christian.